Hi there everyone, Scapegoat Stephen back with another video match report, Quarantine Ball episode 3. So this time we've got me playing Shepherds on the right of the screen versus my daughter playing Veteran Boar Butchers on the left of the screen. We've done a little bit more tactical nuance in this game. So I think my daughter's picking up the skills that she needs now, perhaps because we've played quite a few games of late. And she's sort of getting a bit more. This one is a lot closer than the previous two games. So sit back and enjoy. So coming down the left-hand side, we have Shank, Veteran Boar, Cinnamon, Boiler, Princess, and Veteran Gutter. Coming down the right-hand side, we've got Lamb, who's kicking, Ram, Hook, Crook, Babe, Herder, and Shearer. So the reason I was kicking with Lamb was principally to get his debuffs / buffs out. Given that threat range to be able to then drop a ton of sow the seeds or whatever have you, get those harvest markers in right position for turn 2 or later in turn 1 itself. So the ball scatters just off the centre there. I didn't re-roll, I was accurate, but I chose to let it just go there rather than risk a worse scatter. It's over the line, it's going to get someone within threat range. So Cinnamon is going to drop Get Set Bake on Boar, and then Cinnamon is going to jog. She's going to collect the ball and come back a little bit, and then she's going to pass to Boiler, which is successful, and then Boiler is going to dodge off that, the 4 inches, staying within the Get Set Bake aura off of Boar, and just basically extending his own threat range a bit. So Ram is going to use Battering Ram and basically push the entire team forward 4 inches, and then drop a harvest marker at the end of it. What I do manage to do is completely and utterly forget about the free dodge that I can give someone off of the pulse at the end of the movement. So never mind about that, I'll have to remember next time. Gutter sprints as a stalling action. Babe is going to jog and use droppings just behind there. Then I believe Princess is going to sprint. Again, a bit of a stalling action here. So there. I'm then going to go with Herder. I decide to, because I'm out of range with Lamb for a charge, although that was a bit optimistic. So Herder is going to spend 1 to glide, although I didn't really need to do that, and then jog across the ground to engage Princess, buy an attack and get the non-momentous knockdown, and then we're just going to get 3 momentous push dodges in a row. So I don't want to be triggering Love Creature basically, but I do want to make sure that there's a bit of setup there, and if necessary, I can take out Princess and just generate a ton of momentum with the rest of the team. So we will then go to Boiler. Now, Boiler decides that basically with Get Set Bake, he's in jog range of being able to go base to base with Herder. So what he's going to do is he's going to take Berserk off Boar. He has only got 3 influence on him, but that will then give him the option to make 4 attacks with the Berserk. So he's going to take Berserk, drop the ball to Cinnamon, and then just jog base to base. So he's going to make an attack. I do declare a counter attack. He gets a momentous 2 on his first attack. Also bleeds me as well. I counter attack and choose 3 damage. Now I chose this instead of the knockdown or I don't think I've got the knockdown, sorry, or the push dodge, because I felt that doing the damage would set him up for later in the turn. The Berserk attack does a knockdown, then does a momentous 3, and a Berserk attack does a momentous 2, and then Boiler heals himself rather than me being able to take advantage of damaging him, but it means he's healed himself this turn, I guess. So that's something, and it uses momentum on the opponent. So Crook clears conditions on Herder, and then Crook uses Herding to push Boiler 3 inches face to face with Babe. Hook is then going to activate and does the same and pulls Boiler, so he's engaged by Herder, Lamb, and Babe. And then the dogs are both just going to go for a little jog so that they are also engaging Boiler. We then get one of them makes an attack and does a momentous 2, and then the other one makes an attack and does a momentous knockdown. Apologies, I can't remember which order, which one of them did that in, but we end up setting him up nicely for the rest of the team. So Shank is going to go. Shank was up that top end just in case I chose to kick off that direction, and he's just going to go for a sprint and then attack Babe. So it does trigger Love Creature, but at this stage, I guess generating some momentum, putting some damage out on Babe. So we get a momentous 1 damage dodge, and then the second attack does a momentous 2 damage dodge on my defense 5 mascot. So we then go with Lamb. Lamb is going to use Planting Master to drop 2 harvest markers, and then Lamb is just going to start buying attacks on Boiler. So the first one does a momentous Sow the Seeds, wrapping for a momentous weak point, which takes Boiler down to being a 3-0. The second one does a momentous Sow the Seeds, wrapping to a non-momentous 2, and the third one just does a momentous Sow the Seeds. Lamb then jogs so that he's engaging both Boiler and Shank as a setup for next turn, because I should be able to kill Boiler top of the next turn. Veteran Boar then furiously charges Herder, because I left Herder too close. Herder does defensive stance and counterattack, and Boar manages just a momentous 2 on that charge. So counterattack with Herder. I'm just going to do the push dodge because it gets me out of Boar, and basically means he's not going to get his berserk attack, and he's not going to get his follow-up attack or berserk attack off that either. So it kind of saves me, saves Babe. I do debate whether or not I just pull him closer to me, but then I think, you know what, no, I don't want him to have another 3 attacks into my team, and especially when I can't really do anything about it at this stage of the turn. So I just push him back out immediately and push myself back a little bit as well. So Shearer's going to jog and attack Boiler, and actually it's quite crucial here because at the moment my opponent has 3 momentum, I have 2, and Shearer does wrap, so we get a momentous 3 and I wrap to the momentous 2. So I've just done 5 more damage to Boiler, and you know I'm set up with 1 additional momentum. However, the highest card I have is a 6, and my opponent plays a 7, so we do go to a roll-off. Now, the roll-off ends up in I roll a 2, and Shearer unfortunately was a 1, so I take the initiative. I currently have Play to the Crowd, and Shearer has played Risky Play, and I give Hook +1 attack. So I then eventually, after sort of mathing it all out, just bin all 5 harvest markers for influence, thinking that actually Lamb's going to be able to drop a decent number out as well. But I do choose to go with Herder first, because you know we're going to see if we can't get a nice 6-point activation from her. We'll see quite how well Shepherds do, and Herder specifically. Herder has a lovely playbook, an absolutely amazing playbook. So let's see how this goes. So Boiler as well, sorry, it's worth pointing out, only has 5 HP left. So if I wrap, I'll take him out. So we go with the first attack. Unfortunately, we don't hit the top of the playbook, and we get a momentous 4, which leaves Boiler on 1. We do a second attack, get a momentous 4, and we take out Boiler. So it's currently 0-2 in favour of the Shepherds. So then we jog to engage Cinnamon. And we are also engaged by Vet Boar as well. I heal myself with momentum and attack Cinnamon. Cinnamon does declare a counter attack. I do a momentous push dodge and pull myself base to base with Cinnamon. Still in Boar's melee range, unfortunately. And then Cinnamon's counter attack is just a single dodge. So I then go with a second attack, and we get a momentous 2. Third attack is a non-momentous tackle, and we go for a risky shot on the goal. Obviously, I'm engaged by 2 models, so I bonus time it back up, and we score it. So that's Herder, nice 6-point activation there, and then she's going to dodge away because I don't really want to be that close to Vet Boar. If I'm honest, it's not something that I'm particularly fond of. So the ball gets kicked out, and it does go to Vet Boar. Seren was hoping it would go on Cinnamon, but just due to the way the scatter worked, ended up on Vet Boar. But Vet Boar does decide to go now. So Vet Boar is going to pop his legendary, and he's going to take a nice look at lamb there. He's going to drop the ball behind him and then charge lamb. There's a bit of discussion here, and we ended up rejigging where the charge went. After I pointed out lamb does have a push on one, and I do counter-attack and defensive stance. So in goes Boar, and he manages a momentous 5 on the charge, and my counter-attack only gets 1 hit. So I just drop a sow the seeds behind me. In hindsight, probably should have weak pointed, because, well, you'll find out in just a second. So we then do a berserk attack, momentous 6, then an attack with a bonus time, momentous 6, berserk attack, momentous 2, and then a normal attack, momentous 5, and it takes out lamb. So that takes out 3 of my influence as well, and most of my harvest marker generation, or does it? Because obviously lamb's punishment mechanic kicks in, and I just drop another 4 harvest markers where I want them on the pitch. So that takes it to 2-6 in favour of the Shepherds, and then the berserk attack from Boar goes into Babe and puts single down on Babe. So that sets Babe up for basically to be killed by well, pretty much anyone on his side of the pitch. So Babe is going to jog backwards, stays so they're still engaged by Shank, and does try and attack on Boar. The idea here, quite stupidly, was can I generate some momentum? Like, I thought I could just bar ram you in, but figured that the push, whilst good, I could just get it off the playbook and get momentum as well, but I needed to hit with both my dice. Sadly, that did not happen. So we end up we sat on no momentum. Princess is going to get the free charge and charge Babe after clearing conditions, and scores a momentous 3, leaving Babe on 1 health, and then buys another attack, scoring a momentous 1 and getting the takeout on Babe. Oh, there goes my poor pig. It does trigger Love Creature and puts singled out on Princess as part of the punishment mechanic, so it's 3-6 now in favour of the Shepherds. So I'm going to use Hook and Crook and try and get Boar out of basically out of range, so that his legendary doesn't affect Shank. So I basically use herding with both of them again to push 3 and then push another 3, and then jog base to base, and we start buying attacks. Hook gets a momentous double push, Crook gets a momentous 2, and then Crook does another momentous 2, and then Hook does a final attack and gets a momentous push, which means Veteran Boar is, I believe, about 7 inches now away from Shank, so Shank can't take the berserk free charge, and can't take the berserk or the free charge from the legendary. So I'm quite happy about that. Puts me in a better position for the rest of the turn, and downpowers Shank a lot actually, because if he had berserk and furious, he's pretty nasty. So Cinnamon goes for a sprint, round Herder's melee range, and does a bonus time pass, I believe, to Gutter, which succeeds, and Gutter then will do a dodge. Again, we have a quick chat about Gutter's threat range off the fast ground, sprint 10, shoot 6. So we just say, no, there's probably the best place so you can actually get to the goal and score it. So Ram goes next. She's going to jog, and push Shearer forward. I then realise actually Shearer is then engaged by Princess, so I back him off with a free dodge, but then forget to plant my harvest marker. So I'm getting at least one thing on Ram every time at the moment. Again, first game with them, so it's going to take a bit of practice to get used to. So Shank's going to go next, and Shank is going to charge Shearer. So Shearer does defensive stance and counter attack, and Shank is going to score a momentous 2 damage and then dodge base to base with Shearer. So even if Shearer scores the double dodge, he's not going anywhere. So Shearer gets a counter attack and does 2 damage back, and then Shank hits me for a momentous 3 and then another momentous 3. Chooses not to dodge on any of them, or might dodge sort of a little bit closer. So Shearer's going to go next and attack Shank, and he's also going to deal some damage back on Shank as well. So that's just dice rolls finishing up with Shank's activation, and then we will go with Shearer. So Shearer's going to make his first attack and score a momentous 3 on Shank, and then a second attack and score a momentous 2. So that puts me up to 4 momentum. My opponent's on like 6 at the moment, and Gutter's just going to go for a sprint and take a shot on the goal without a bonus time and scores it. So it's 7-6. It's actually in favour of the Butchers right now, so they are ahead of the game. They are also on 7 momentum. I'm on 4. So my opponent plays. Oh, let's just keep the ball out first, and there goes the ball all the way up over there near Herder, and probably within Shearer's threat as well. So my opponent plays Form a Wall, and I play Raw Enthusiasm and put it on Ram. So yeah, it's the ideal Shepherd's card for Herder's activation. So obviously my opponent will take initiative because they want the ball at the moment, because they don't really want to leave it there. And here comes Boiler back on the pitch. There you go. So he is triggering the Form a Wall. And we're just looking at influence allocation now. So the important thing is Boiler's got 4, Cinnamon has 3, and I believe we just measure. No, we're just proxying out a can Cinnamon get to the ball and then pass to Gutter. The answer is yes, basically. We do have a bit of jiggery pokery here because at first it's a no, but actually if we push these tokens a little bit better, then yeah, easy. It will require Cinnamon to do a acrobatics, a sprint, and a pass. So it's all 3. Gutter gets 3 influence, and then Shank gets 3 as well. I think it's 3 because I think this team's a 13, and then Babe and Herder jog on. So I'm just going to whack down 6 influence straight on Herder, because depending on what happens now, depends on whether or not I can get the ball, potentially score. My opponent can't snapshot as well, it should be noted, because they're going first. Which is probably the right option, otherwise Herder would have just come in, killed Shank, and passed to Shearer. So all that happens, we go over a sprint with Cinnamon, snaps the ball, acrobatics, passes to Gutter, misses the pass, but crucially can intercept it. So no momentum. Herder charges Shank, scores a momentous 3, and then on the second attack does a momentous 3, and then on the third attack does another momentous 3 and scores the takeout. So it's 7-8 in favour of the Shepherds. I am engaging Cinnamon as well, sorry I should say, and then we'll attack Cinnamon and do a momentous 3 to Cinnamon. We will then legendary and choose Ram, because 2 armor on everyone's great, and now Ram's just going to jog back on the pitch and go engage Boar, so we can't furiously charge anyone. In theory Ram could probably push Boar off the pitch as well during their activation. So Gutter's going to go. Gutter is going to charge. We debate about who's the best charge target, but then go for Lamb, because Lamb is defense 5 with the defensive stance, whereas Babe becomes defense 6. But they can still engage Babe to get the sweeping charge off. So only get 1 success and take the momentous 1, but it then also does the sweeping charge. There was a defensive stance and counter attack from Lamb. It does leave Babe on a single hit point. The counter attack just does a sow the seeds. Not great, but it was something. There was an off chance I could have got a tackle on the dice spike. And then Gutter's going to score the goal, so it actually goes to 11-8 in favour of the Butchers. So the ball gets kicked out, and you'll see where it scatters in just a second, and it's all the way over there. Thankfully, I did drop a harvest marker near Shearer. So Shearer's going to use the remove the harvest marker to dodge 4, which goes to that blue token you can see. And then we're going to see what happens if he can sprint. So he'll sprint to there, and he will take a shot on the goal. And he's a football legend, and he slots it in. So it goes 11-12 in favour of the Shepherds. Really close game. I think much closer than the previous few that we've played. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to bring more Shepherds games back in the future. And well, keep safe, look after yourselves, and we'll see you again next time.